Utopian and dystopian fiction. 9 languages. Utopian and dystopian fiction are subgenres of science fiction that explore social and political structures. Utopian fiction portrays a setting that agrees with the author's ethos, having various attributes of another reality intended to appeal to readers. Dystopian fiction offers the opposite, the portrayal of a setting that completely disagrees with the author's ethos. 1. Full citation needed. Some novels combine both genres, often as a metaphor for the different directions humanity can take, depending on its choices, ending up with one of 2 possible futures. Both utopias and dystopias are commonly found in science fiction and other types of speculative fiction. More than 400 utopian works in the English language were published prior to the year 1900, with more than 1,000 others appearing during the 20th century. 2. This increase is partially associated with the rise in popularity of science fiction and young adult fiction more generally, but also larger-scale social change that brought awareness of larger societal or global issues, such as technology, climate change, and growing human population. Some of these trends have created distinct subgenres such as ecotopian fiction, climate fiction, young adult dystopian novels, and feminist dystopian novels. Subgenres, edit. Utopian fiction, edit. Further information, Utopia. See also, List of utopian literature and category utopian fiction. The word utopia was first used in direct context by Thomas More in his 1516 work Utopia. The word utopia resembles both the Greek words autopo, no place, and utopos, good place. More's book, written in Latin, sets out a vision of an ideal society. As the title suggests, the work presents an ambiguous and ironic projection of the ideal state. 3. The whimsical nature of the text can be confirmed by the narrator of Utopia's second book, Raphael Hythlodi. The Greek root of the name Hythlodi suggests an expert in nonsense. An earlier example of a utopian work from classical antiquity is Plato's The Republic, in which he outlines what he sees as the ideal society and its political system. Later, Tommaso Campanella was influenced by Plato's work and wrote The City of the Sun, 1623, which describes a modern utopian society built on equality. 4. Other examples include Samuel Johnson's The History of Rasselas, Prince of Abyssinia, 1759, and Samuel Butler's Iruhan, 1872, which uses an anagram of Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Nowhere as its title. 2. 5. This, like much of utopian literature, can be seen as satire. Butler inverts illness and crime, with punishment for the former and treatment for the latter. 5. One example of the utopian genre's meaning and purpose is described in Frederick Jameson's Archaeologies of the Future, 2005, which addresses many utopian varieties defined by their program or impulse. 6. Dystopian fiction, edit. Further information, dystopia. See also, List of dystopian literature, List of dystopian comics, and List of dystopian films. A dystopia is a society characterized by a focus on that which is contrary to the author's ethos, such as mass poverty, public mistrust and suspicion, a police state or oppression. 1. Most authors of Dystopian fiction explore at least one reason why things are that way, often as an analogy for similar issues in the real world. Dystopian literature serves to provide fresh perspectives on problematic social and political practices that might otherwise be taken for granted or considered natural and inevitable. 7. Some dystopias claim to be utopias. Samuel Butler's Iruhan can be seen as a dystopia because of the way sick people are punished as criminals while thieves are cured in hospitals, which the inhabitants of Iruhan see as natural and right, i.e., utopian, as mocked in Voltaire's Candide. Dystopias usually extrapolate elements of contemporary society, and thus can be read as political warnings. Eschatological literature may portray dystopias. 8. Examples, edit. The 1921 novel We by Yevgeny Zamyatin portrays a post-apocalyptic future in which society is entirely based on logic and modeled after mechanical systems. 9. George Orwell was influenced by We when he wrote 1984, published in 1949, a novel about Oceania, a state at perpetual war, its population controlled through propaganda. 10. Big Brother and the Daily 2 Minutes hate set the tone for an all-pervasive self-censorship. Aldous Huxley's 1932 novel Brave New World started as a parody of utopian fiction, and projected into the year 2540 industrial and social changes he perceived in 1931, leading to industrial success by a coercively persuaded population divided into 5 castes. 9. Karen Boy's 1940 novel Calacain is set in a totalitarian world state where a drug is used to control the individual's thoughts. 11. Anthony Burgess' 1962 novel A Clockwork Orange is set in a future England that has a subculture of extreme youth violence, and details the protagonist's experiences with the state intent on changing his character at their whim. 9. Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale, 1985, describes a Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Future United States governed by a totalitarian theocracy, where women have no rights. 9. Need quotation to verify, and Stephen King's The Long Walk, 1979, describes a similar totalitarian scenario, but depicting the participation of teenage boys in a deadly contest. Examples of young adult dystopian fiction include, notably all published after 2000, the Hunger Games series by Suzanne Collins, the Divergent series by Veronica Roth, the Power of Five series by Anthony Horowitz, the Maze Runner series by James Dashner, and the Uglies series by Scott Westerfeld. 12. Video games often include dystopias as well. Notable examples include the Fallout series, BioShock, and the later games of the Half-Life series. History of dystopian fiction, edit. The history of dystopian literature can be traced back to the reaction to the French Revolution of 1789 and the prospect that mob rule would produce dictatorship. Until the late 20th century, it was usually anti-collectivist. Dystopian fiction emerged as a response to the utopian. Its early history is traced in Gregory Clay's Dystopia, A Natural History, Oxford University Press, 2017. The beginning of technological dystopian fiction can be traced back to E. M. Forster's 1879–1970. The Machine Stops. 13. 14. M. Keith Booker states that the machine stops we and brave new world are the great defining texts of the genre of dystopian fiction, both in the vividness of their engagement with real-world social and political issues and in the scope of their critique of the societies on which they focus. 15. Another important figure in dystopian literature is H.G. Wells, whose work The Time Machine, 1895, is also widely seen as a prototype of dystopian literature. 2. 9. Wells' work draws on the social structure of the 19th century, providing a critique of the British class structure at the time. 16. Post-World War II, even more dystopian fiction was produced. These works of fiction were interwoven with political commentary. The end of World War II brought about fears of an impending Third World War and a consequent apocalypse. Citation needed. Modern dystopian fiction draws not only on topics such as totalitarian governments and anarchism, but also pollution, global warming, climate change, health, the economy and technology. Modern dystopian themes are common in the young adult genre of literature. 17, 18. Combinations, edit. Many works combine elements of both utopias and dystopias. Typically, an observer from our world will journey to another place or time and see one society the author considers ideal and another representing the worst possible outcome. Usually, the point is that our choices may lead to a better or worse potential future world. Ursula K. Le Guin's Always Coming Home fulfills this model, as does Marge Pierce's Women on the Edge of Time. In Star Walk's The Fifth Sacred Thing there is no time-traveling observer. However, her ideal society is invaded by a neighboring power embodying. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. Evil repression. In Aldous Huxley's Island, in many ways a counterpoint to his better-known Brave New World, the fusion of the best parts of Buddhist philosophy and Western technology is threatened by the invasion of oil companies. As another example, in the Unwanted series by Lisa McMahon, a paradox occurs where the outcasts from a complete dystopia are treated to absolute utopia. They believe that those who were privileged in said dystopia were the unlucky ones. In another literary model, the imagined society journeys between elements of utopia and dystopia over the course of the novel or film. At the beginning of The Giver by Lois Lowry, the world is described as a utopia. However, as the book progresses, the world's dystopian aspects are revealed. Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels is also sometimes linked with both utopian and dystopian literatures, because it shares the general preoccupation with ideas of good and bad societies. Of the countries Lemuel Gulliver visits, Brobdingnag and country of the Houyhnhnms approacher utopia, the others have significant dystopian aspects. 19. Ecotopian fiction, edit. See also, climate fiction. See also, solarpunk. In ecotopian fiction, the author posits either a utopian or dystopian world revolving around environmental conservation or destruction. Danny Bloom coined the term CLIFI in 2006, with a Twitter boost from Margaret Atwood in 2011, to cover climate change-related fiction. 20, but the theme has existed for decades. Novels dealing with overpopulation, such as Harry Harrison's Make Room, made into movie Soylent Green, were popular in the 1970s, reflecting the widespread concern with the effects of overpopulation on the environment. The novel Nature's End, by Whitley Strieber and James Q. Necker, 1986, posits a future in which overpopulation, pollution, climate change, and resulting superstorms have led to a popular mass suicide political movement. Some other examples of ecological dystopias are depictions of Earth in the films WALL-E and Avatar. While eco-dystopias are more common, a small number of works depicting what might be called eco-utopia, or eco-utopian trends, have also been influential. These include Ernest Corlenbacher's Ecotopia, an important 20th century example of this genre. Kim Stanley Robinson has written several books dealing with environmental themes, including the Mars trilogy. Most notably, however, his Three Californias trilogy contrasted an eco-dystopia with an eco-utopia and a sort of middling future. Robinson has also edited an anthology of short ecotopian fiction, called Future Primitive: The New Ecotopias. Another impactful piece of Robinson's is New York 2140, which focuses on the aftermath of society after a major flooding event, and can be seen through both a utopian and dystopian lens. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. There are a few dystopias that have an anti-ecological theme. These are often characterized by a government that is overprotective of nature or a society that has lost most modern technology and struggles for survival. A fine example of this is the novel Ridley Walker, Feminist Utopias, edit. See also, Utopia Feminism. Another subgenre is feminist utopias and the overlapping category of feminist science fiction. According to the author Sally Miller Gearhart, a feminist utopian novel is one which A contrasts the present with an envisioned idealized society, separated from the present by time or space. B offers a comprehensive critique of present values / conditions. C sees men or male institutions as a major cause of present social ills. D presents women as not only at least the equals of men but also as the sole arbiters of their reproductive functions. 21-22. Utopias have explored the ramification of gender being either a societal construct or a hard-wired imperative. 23. In Mary Gentle's Golden Witch Breed, gender is not chosen until maturity, and gender has no bearing on social roles. In contrast, Doris Lessing's The Marriages Between Zones 3, 4 and 5, 1980, suggests that men's and women's values are inherent to the sexes and cannot be changed, making a compromise between them essential. In My Own Utopia, 1961, by Elizabeth Mann Borges, gender exists but is dependent upon age rather than sex, genderless. Children mature into women, some of whom eventually become men. 23. Marge Pierce's novel Woman on the Edge of Time keeps human biology, but removes pregnancy and childbirth from the gender equation by resorting to assisted reproductive technology while allowing both women and men the nurturing experience of breastfeeding. Utopic single-gender worlds or single-sex societies have long been one of the primary ways to explore implications of gender and gender differences. 24. One solution to gender oppression or social issues in feminist utopian fiction is to remove men, either showing isolated all-female societies as in Charlotte Perkins Gilman's Hairland, or societies where men have died out or been replaced, as in Joanna Russ's A Few Things I Know About While Away, where the poisonous binary gender has died off. In speculative fiction, female-only worlds have been imagined to come about by the action of disease that wipes out men, along with the development of a technological or mystical method that allows female parthenogenetic reproduction. The resulting society is often shown to be utopian by feminist writers. Many influential feminist utopias of this sort were written in the 1970s, 24, 25, 26. The most often studied examples include Joanna Russ's The Female Man and Susie Mkeshana's The Holdfast Chronicles. 26. Such worlds have been portrayed most often by lesbian or feminist authors. Their use of female-only worlds allows the exploration of female independence and freedom from patriarchy. The societies may not necessarily be lesbian or sexual at all. Hareland, 1915, by Charlotte Perkins Gilman is a famous early example of a sexless society. 25. Charlene Ball writes in Women's Studies Encyclopedia that use of speculative fiction to explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF explore gender roles has been more common in the United States than in Europe and elsewhere. 23. Utopias imagined by male authors have generally included equality between sexes rather than separation. 27. Cultural impact, edit. Etienne Cabet's work Travels in Icaria caused a group of followers, the Icarians, to leave France in 1848, and travel to the United States to start a series of utopian settlements in Texas, Illinois, Iowa, California, and elsewhere. These groups lived in communal settings and lasted until 1898. 28. Among the first decades of the 20th century in Russia, utopian science fiction literature popularity rose extremely due to the fact that the citizens wanted to fantasize about the future instead of just the fact that it was a new, up-and-coming genre of literature. 29. During the Cold War, however, utopian science fiction became exceptionally prominent among Soviet leaders. Many citizens of the Soviet Russia became dependent on this type of literature because it represented an escape from the real world, which was not ideal at the time. Utopian science fiction allowed them to fantasize about how satisfactory it would be to live in a perfect world. Citation needed. See also, edit. The City of the Sun. List of dystopian literature. List of dystopian films. List of dystopian comics. List of utopian literature. Social science fiction. Utopian language. References, edit. 1-AB Apocalyptic Literature. Bloomsbury Publishing Limited 1993. Site Journal, Site Journal. Requires journal equals, help. 2-ABC Sargent, Leman Tower, November 1976. Themes in Utopian Fiction in English before Wells. Science Fiction Studies. 3, 327582, CP 2756. 3-Cartwright, Travis, ed. The 10th of September, 2015. Thomas More, Why Patron of Statesmen. Lanham. Lexington Books. p. 174. ISBN 978-1-4985-2227-4. OCLC 9204666356. Mantles Cromwell, despite his keen appreciation of literature and love of Petrarch, completely misses the ironic and ambiguous structure of Utopia. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. 4 Campanella, Tommaso, 1623. The City of the Sun. The Floating Press. pp. 139. ISBN 978-1. 775410-51-5. 5 A.B. Clays, Gregory, Sargent, Le Mans Tower, eds. 1999. The Utopia Reader. New York, New York. University Press. pp. 229. ISBN 0-585-42482-9. OCLC 707289991. 6 Jameson, Frederick, 2005. Archaeologies of the Future. New York, Verso. pp. 19. ISBN 1-84467033. 3. 7 Booker, Keith M. 1994. The Dystopian Impulse in Modern Literature. Westport, C.T., Greenwood. Press. p. 19. ISBN 9780313290923. 8 Sinclair, George R. The 8th of July, 2020. World Without End. Look Around, A Christian Faith for the 21st Century. Eugene, Oregon, Wipf and Stock Publishers, published 2020. p. 153. ISBN 9781725266681. Retrieved 15 August 2021. Dystopian Escapism Cells. Appealing to dark instincts, gnawing insecurities, and socio-political disturbance, dystopian eschatology appeals to fear. 9 ABCDE 100 Great Works of Dystopian Fiction. Vulture. 3 August 2017. Retrieved 3 June 2020. 10 Taylor, D.J. The 22nd of May 2019. The Ministry of Truth by Dorian Linsky. Review what inspired Orwell's masterpiece. The Guardian. ISSN 0261-3077. Retrieved 3 June 2020. 11 Davidson, Beng framtidsromanen Kalakane Karen Boysalskapet, in Swedish. 12 Garcia, Antro, November 2013. Critical Foundations in Young Adult Literature, Challenging Genres. Rotterdam, the Netherlands, Sense Publishers. p. 71. ISBN 978-94-6209-398-0. OCLC 8636988575. 13 Zimmerman, Anna Christina, Morgan, W. John, 1 March 2019. E. M. Forster's The Machine Stops. Humans, Technology and Dialogue. AI and Society. 34, 13745 do, 10.1007-446-017-06998-3. ISSN 1435-5655. S2 SID 25560513. 14 Caporaletti, Selvina. Science as Nightmare, The Machine Stops by E. M. Forster. Utopian Studies. 8.2, 1997 32-47. 15 Booker, M. Keith, 1994. The Dystopian Impulse in Modern Literature, Fiction as Social Criticism. Greenwood Press. 16 Marcus, Laura. The Time Machine. Britannica. Retrieved the 11th of December, 2021. 17 Young, Moira, the 22nd of October, 2011. Why is dystopia so appealing to young adults? The Guardian. ISSN 0261-3077. Retrieved the 3rd of June, 2020. 18 Ames, Melissa, 2013. Engaging a Political Adolescence, Analyzing the Popularity and Educational Potential of Dystopian Literature Post 9/11. The High School Journal. 97, 1-320. Do. 10.1353/HSJ.2013.0023. JSTA 43281204. S2 SID 145131295. 19 Houston, Chloe, 2007. Utopia, Dystopia or Anti-Utopia. Gulliver's Travels and the Utopian Motive. Discourse. Utopian Studies. 18, 34254442 do. 10.5300/utopianstudies.18.3.0425. ISSN 1045. 991X. JSTA 207198885. S2 SID 1900000042. 20 Margaret Atwood, Twitter. 21 Gearhart, Sally Miller, 1984. Future Visions, Today's Politics, Feminist Utopias in Review. In. Barak, Elaine Hoffman, Rolich, Ruby, eds. Women in Search of Utopia, Mavericks and Mythmakers. New York, Shokan Books. pp. 296. ISBN 0805239006. 22 Napikoski, Linda. A Look at Feminist Utopia and Dystopia Literature. ThoughtCo. Retrieved. The 16th of January, 2019. 23 ABC Tierney, Helen, 1999. Women's Studies Encyclopedia. Greenwood Publishing Group. p. 1442. ISBN 978-0-313-31073-7. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. 24 AB Atby, Brian, 2002. Decoding Gender in Science Fiction. New York, Routledge. ISBN 978-1-317. 97147-4. OCLC 8680681999. 25 AB Gayetan Brulotte and John Phillips, Encyclopedia of Erotic Literature, Science Fiction and Fantasy. p. 1189, CRC Press, 2006, ISBN 1-57958-441-1. 26 AB Martha Abata, The Utopian Fantastic, Mo Mutes, Robin Ann Reed, p. 101 ISBN 0-313-31635. X. 27 Martha Abata, The Utopian Fantastic, Mo Mutes, Robin Ann Reed, p.102 ISBN 28 Travels in Icaria Utopianism and Communitarianism Paperback, PDF. Tibermecbook.org. Retrieved 15 November 2018. 29 Refail, New Delman, 1989. Soviet Science Fiction and the Ideology of Soviet Society. Science Fiction Studies. 16, 3866. JSTOR 4239917 via JSTOR. Bibliography, edit. Applebaum, Robert. Literature and Utopian Politics in 17th-Century England. Cambridge, Cambridge University Press, 2002. Bartkowski, Francis. Feminist Utopias. Lincoln, N.E., University of Nebraska Press, 1991. Booker, M. Keith. The Dystopian Impulse in Modern Literature. Westport, C.T., Greenwood Press. 1994. Booker, M. Keith. Dystopian Literature, A Theory and Research Guide. Westport, C.T. Greenwood Press, 1994. Clays, Gregory. Dystopia, A Natural History. Oxford, Oxford University Press, 2017. Ferns, Chris. Narrating Utopia, Ideology, Gender, Form in Utopian Literature. Liverpool. Liverpool University Press, 1999. Gerber, Richard. Utopian Fantasy. London, Routledge and Kegan Paul, 1955. Gottlieb, Erica. Dystopian Fiction East and West, Universe of Terror and Trial. Montreal, McGill. Queen's Press, 2001. Haskell, Paul G. Utopian/dystopian Literature. Mituchin, N.J., Scarecrow Press, 1994. Jameson, Frederick. Archaeologies of the Future, The Desire Called Utopia and Other Science Fictions. London, Verso, 2005. Kessler, Carol Farley. Daring to Dream, Utopian Fiction by United States Women Before 1950. Syracuse, NY, Syracuse University Press, 1995. Moore, Dunja M. Worlds Apart, Dualism and Transgression in Contemporary Female Dystopias. Jefferson, N.C., McFarland, 2005. Todd, Ian, and Michael Wheeler. Utopia. London, Orbis, 1978. Sargent, Leman Tower, November, 1976. Themes in Utopian Fiction in English Before. Wells. Science Fiction Studies. 3, 327582. Swakowski, Zygmunt. Twórczość Bolesława Prusa, The Art of Bolesław Prus, 2nd ed. Warsaw, Państwowy Instytut Wydawniczy, 1972. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd HTML to PDF. External links, edit. Dystopias and Utopias, the Encyclopedia of Science Fiction. The Society for Utopian Studies archived 30 May 2014 at the Wayback Machine. Portal for dystopian-related media. Dystopia Tracker. Modernist Utopias, BBC Radio 4 discussion with John Carey, Steve Connor and Laura Marcus. In Our Time, 10 March 2005. The dystopia genre discusses current popularity of the dystopian genre. Categories: dystopian fiction, utopian fiction, science fiction genres, science fiction themes. Film genres. Speculative fiction. Explore our developer-friendly HTML to PDF API printed using PDF Crowd. HTML to PDF.